Hello, good afternoon from here in Orlando. Welcome to today's podcast. I'm Dr. Banjawishka. Today, I just wanted to talk about a very interesting day I had. Very interesting patient. I'm a kidney physician, and I'm a nephrologist, a kidney physician, and a hypertension specialist as well. I'm also a wellness physician, and I have a very different approach to care than most of my colleagues do, and I see patients here in Orlando in my clinic, and I also see patients in the hospital consulting for kidney cases as a specialist. I also see patients on dialysis. So today I'm giving a bit of a background because today I had a very interesting patient that I saw in my clinic. This lady is, how old is she? 88? Came in with her daughter and I guess they're both her daughters. I think one is her sister and the other one was her daughter. And, with kidney disease, unfortunately, by the time you're seeing me, there's some damage usually to your kidneys. And, the most common reasons why this happens. Welcome everyone as you join. Good evening, Dr. B. Thank you. Good evening. Well, it's good afternoon over here. So as I was saying, in terms of with kidney disease, the big three, I call them. Big three: high blood pressure, high blood sugar, high blood cholesterol. These are three numbers everybody should know. Everybody should know those numbers, wherever you're on this planet. Because those numbers represent, to a large extent, what's going on with you. The more of those numbers that are a problem, the more likely you are to have problems with your blood flow. And I miss you guys at Lagoon too. Your blood flow is very, very important. Wherever blood is flowing to thrives. Wherever blood is not flowing through, does not. It barely survives. In most cases, it fails. At any point in life, you want to be thriving. Whatever you're doing, you don't want to just be surviving. You definitely don't want to be failing. So not surviving, but thriving. Now, for parts of your body to thrive, they have to have adequate blood flow. Okay? So, cholesterol, blood pressure, sugar. Those three. They all come about as a result of your behavior. If you're eating the wrong things, you make your body inflamed. Yes? If your body is inflamed, it's automatically you start to develop a resistance to insulin. If you develop a resistance to insulin, you have diabetes. Then the body starts becoming, all this is from inflammation, chronic inflammation. Then the body starts becoming incompetent handling cholesterol. It starts depositing in where it shouldn't deposit it. Like in the liver, in your arteries, affecting blood flow, in your heart, or in your kidney. You have fatty kidney disease now, fatty liver disease, fatty heart disease. All because of what you're eating. So anyway, I'm going to this dialogue because you need this background to get the pearl I got from my visit with this lady today. Of course, if you're eating the wrong things, you develop inflammation. If you're eating the right things, you go against inflammation. You eat your fruits, your beans, your legumes, your vegetables. If you animals inflame you. So if animals inflame you, then cut the animals down. How do they inflame you? They inflame you by just exposure to the blood, exposure of meat to the blood, of fish to the blood. Any kind of animal protein has fat in it, and the fat exposed to blood in the quantity that comes in an animal inflames it. When it's inflamed, it starts to malfunction. It starts to malfunction. It's like having a door, having a door, and to get the key into the lock to open it, there's gunk in that key lock, so you can't fit the key in. Well, that gunk is fat. Is what inflammation does, because now you can't get into that key, into that door. Yes, that's what insulin does. It opens the door for sugar to flow into the cells. I'm getting a little technical. Bear with me for a minute. So sugar flows into the cells where it should be. It should not be out of the cells. It should not be in the blood vessels. Sugar in the blood vessels is like having shredded glass being pumped through a pipe and forcing water into it. It will shred the lining of the pipe. That's your arteries. That's how they get inflamed, from sugar being in them when they should not be there. They should be in the cells. Like having a road with lots of garages, there should be no cars on the road. All the cars should be in the garages. The cars on the road, they cause trouble. Sugar in the blood vessels cause trouble. They shred the lining of the arteries and veins. Shred them. And then they have to heal. When they heal with scarring, and they constrict, affecting blood flow. This affects your heart, your brain, your kidney, and that's where I come into it. So this lady comes to my office with that background, and again, she's 88. She comes with her 70-plus-year-old sister, and her daughter is in her 40s. And we're discussing how she's doing. And I mean, this lady's awesome. She's an awesome lady, but there's some issues. She's a little overweight. Her pressure she had a problem with blood pressure, problem with cholesterol, and problem with sugar. So she had all big three. So her kidney disease was already starting to show signs of problems. So was her liver. Her liver is showing signs that there are problems. And we're discussing, she had been told by different doctors that she had to use medications to do this and do that, fix this and things. I said, yes, that might all be true. And again, I don't put medications down. Don't think because I have a holistic approach to care, I don't see the place of medications. I just don't think medications are the fixer. Medications can temporarily mend the bridge, yes, but to fix that bridge, you have to reverse what you've been doing. You can't mend the bridge and continue letting cars or trucks that should not be going over the bridge, that are destroying the bridge, to continue going over them. You stop the trucks from going over the bridge. You have to change your lifestyle. You can't continue to eat meat and chicken and fish and expect that because you're taking a cholesterol lowering pill, you won't get your arteries clogged up. No, you have to change that mindset. And I was telling her this because she was telling me about how hard it is to stick to the lifestyle I had recommended for her. And her daughter was telling on her because she was kind of embellishing the truth a little bit, and the daughter would come out and say, no, Mommy, that's not what happens. You're not taking your vegetables properly. She said she had a salad. Like, yes, Mommy, that was 3 days ago. And I tell my patients, eat vegetables, fruits, and beans daily, every day. Those are your fillers, every day. Animals, not every day. Definitely every day. Okay? At the most once a week, especially if you're on medications. So I'm really bringing you into the room and giving you virtually verbatim as it happened. Okay? Don't worry, I'm not. There's no. I'm changing the story a little bit, so it's not. I'm not. Breaking any rules here by talking about this. No one will be able to identify anything. Because I'm really just giving you an idea as to what the mindset, how important it is, How are you thinking about things? I had to introduce the fact to her that she has to change her mindset about what she's eating. You're used to eating your meat and your chicken and your fish, and you're having a challenging time agreeing with me now because you're having a challenging time not eating it. So it's not a case of you're not agreeing with me because you don't agree with the concept. No, you're not agreeing with me because you haven't figured out how to do it. See, for me, I tell patients that I prefer Banji and my body, to the deliciousness of that suya or asun or chicken or steak. You notice I'm just calling different kinds of meats out because I love my meats. I do. I miss them. But I love Banji much more. So I tell my friends and my family that I love the fact that I love every single healthy food there is out there. There's no healthy food people in front of me that will say, "Ooh, I don't want it." I love them, especially when they taste good. Now, when they're bland then they're bland. But if they're well spiced and they're put together the right, vegetarian dishes, amazing. Amazing. But you have to change your mindset. Your mindset, if it was anything like mine, was meat and chicken is at the center of my plate. That's the whole meal right there. Everything else is just, on the plate. That's how it was for me in the past. But when you know better, you do better. When you really know better, you do better. That's only when you really know better. If you don't do better, you just don't know better. If you don't do better, you just don't know better. Because if you really know, you'll do better. It's just real. And that's what I told her. That you know better. Because I told you before. But you haven't done better. Because you don't really know better. I thought you did. Well, I want you to know better today. Let's talk about it again. And I went through everything again. And at the end of the day, I'm like, do you now know this? Are you going to do this? She was like, yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm like, okay. But you're only going to do it if you really know it. She's like, yes, I really know it now. In other words, she had clarity. I thought I'd given her clarity before. But now she had clarity. And communication is exactly that. Being able to get across information to someone else or some group or something, whatever you're speaking to, but making sure that they receive it as you intended them to receive it. They need to receive it the way you intended for them to receive it. If they don't receive it the way you intended, you haven't communicated it. Yes, you can blame them. Maybe they're uneducated or they're just not smart, but you can't do anything about that. What can you do something about? You can do something about what you now say to them so that they get what you intended them to get. When people get what you intend them to get, then they know. They have knowledge of whatever that subject matter is. Then they have knowledge. Then they really know. Yeah. For me, it was revelatory because when she was leaving, she was like, "Doc, I know now. I do. I thought I did. Now I know." That was just simply clarity. She had clarity about what we had discussed. But I had to discuss it with her again. Sometimes it takes me 10 visits for them to have clarity enough to do what I want them to do. There's a very thin line between inspiring and manipulating. And sometimes for people to know what you want them to know, for you to communicate something so that they receive it the way you intended them to receive it. So they now know exactly what you wanted them to know. Yes? Sometimes to achieve that, you have to really first of all, you have to take a bit of time. Yes? But then sometimes you have to repeat yourself. Yes? And you have to inspire what you want. Now, if you're manipulating, you can manipulate the situation to get what you want. But when you're inspiring, yes, you're inspiring to get what you want. So what's the difference? In one case, you can inspire to get what you want. Yes? The other case, you can manipulate to get what you want. What's the difference? I'll tell you the difference for me. And I welcome debate, because I'm talking, this is real talk for me. This is my day to day. I'm discussing my day to day. The difference is, when you inspire to get what you want, it's inspiring if you've created a win-win. When you manipulate to get what you want, it's manipulation because you get a win-lose. So you're winning at the expense of the other person. That's manipulation. Inspiration, you're creating a win-win. This is what I want from you, but I want to inspire you to give it to me. I can only inspire to give it to me if I can tell you how you win by giving it to me too. So with my patients, and truly with anyone I come in contact with, I want to add value to you. I want to add value to you. I want you to know something you don't know. So I get creative to empower you to know what it is that I know. And I know that if you know, you would have had value added to you. Yeah. So I mean, when I talk about these things with my patients, it's always very interesting because every patient is a different patient. It's a different page in the book. Every patient is totally different. Because everyone comes in with their baggage, with their life events of that day, of yesterday, of last week. And if they're now patients that know you, our patients have been seeing me for the last 20 years. Yes. So if they now know you, like my patients have been seeing for the last 20 years, and I've added value to them, yes, either by getting them off medications or I've added value to them. One way or the other, that's why they're with me for 20 years later. So I've added value to them, and they know that. So they come into my office looking for value to be added to them by telling me and getting my perspective on things outside medicine. Their lives, their family, just different things, because they know me. They've grown to know me. They've grown to trust me. That's why they're there 20 years later. Yes, there's some that have left because either they don't trust me, or they don't know me, or I didn't work for them. I'm very real with my patients because you're entrusting me with your problems, health problems. And for me to be effective and add to you, I have to get to know you. So it's quite intimate. I know you. And because I know you and I learn you, you get to know me. At least within the context of in that room. Now, sometimes, yes, sometimes they get to know me outside the office. Absolutely. Because some patients I will relate to on that level. and they get to know me, I can have a drink with the patient. Absolutely. I could have dinner with the family. Absolutely. But you see, that's not the norm. The norm is they come to the office, and because they've gotten to know me, I've gotten to know them, they really take a lot of time to get my perspective on different things. And for me, I enjoy it. I enjoy it tremendously. And I've developed a system where I get a bit of time to talk to my patients. Not too long, but they leave feeling seen. They leave feeling heard. Look, I'm very intentional about that. And I wish every doctor was. I know quite a few that are. Oh yes, I have some colleagues that are, they inspire me. But I have other colleagues that I wish would learn to step up their game and engage their patients the way the patients should be engaged. Because if you do, you will add value. I don't have to know everything in medicine. Sometimes I don't know what's going on with you. I don't, and I would admit it. I'm like, okay, let's do some tests. I don't know what's happening. I'm stumped. Absolutely. But then seek knowledge. Learn to know. Who was I talking to recently? I think that was Dr. Renner. Learning, yes. A book where the whole idea of education is learning to learn. Learning to learn. Parents, make sure you're teaching your kids how to learn. Not just what to learn, but how to learn. Because it's a process. Make that the focus. Many times they're not getting that straight A's because they haven't learned how to learn. Not because they're not smart. You see, I used to have that fixed mindset. You have to be smart. You have to be inherently smart. So I get a B plus once in a while. I'm like, man, I'm coming across not looking smart. No. And I get that A, and I'm like, yes, that's me. But that mindset had to change because you put a cap when you do that. You don't allow yourself to grow. With a fixed mindset, you have a ceiling you've created yourself. You want to be able to grow. So Carol Dweck wrote that book, Mindset. Get that book. It changed my life. Those of you with a fixed mindset, you have to change your fixed mindset. You believe you already become? No. Me? I'm constantly becoming. I never become. 3 words I encourage people not to say. I know that. Whatever it is that you know that you can know more. If you feel you know that, you put a cap. You won't know anymore. You won't open yourself up to it. Me? I'm a perpetual learner. And I learn from everything. Everything has something for me to learn. It always just humbles me as to how much I don't know. Because of how much I learn. And for me, it's a beautiful thing. I learn the most from my mistakes. I learn the most from my mistakes. I do. Because mistakes that involve hurting people or involve being misunderstood by family, patients, friends, being misunderstood. It's so easy. Okay, I'm going too deep within myself. Let's come back up. Getting deep with this. The point I'm trying to make here is seek to know. Know better. Whatever it is that you don't know, learn something. Whatever it is that you don't know, be okay not knowing it, knowing that you now know it. Right? Be okay now knowing it. Be okay now knowing, yes, that even though you didn't know, now you know it. Be okay with that now. Learn it and then teach it. Be a light in someone else's darkness. One of the reasons why I know, to know is to know that you know nothing. I like that. I like that. That's good. To know is to know that you know nothing. I'll say to know is to know that you don't know everything. Because you know something. You don't know nothing. You do know something, but you don't know everything. You can't. You can't. Only one person does. And he created us. I mean, us that were created, we can't know everything. You'll always have something else to learn. And if you get to that place of knowledge, if you get to that place of knowledge, you would learn something from everything. So, have I gotten to that place of knowledge where I'm learning something from everything? Yes, I have. But, does that mean I'm a very smart guy? No. There's still too much I don't know. Way too much I don't know. But I do know, I have learned that I can learn something from everything. Sometimes you have to be intentional about that. The only true wisdom is knowing you know nothing. Yes. Again, not nothing. Knowing you know, you don't know everything. I won't say I don't know. Knowing I know nothing. Because I know something. I don't know everything. It's very important to know when you don't know. It's important to know when you don't know. Because when you don't know, and you talk as if you know, you don't look very smart. And it can actually be damaging if you're able to, communicate this to the other person. It can be damaging to your relationship, it can be damaging to your business, it can be damaging to so many things. Know when you don't know. Then learn. So that you now know it. Be honest and humble. Absolutely. In everything. And the truth is, to be able to know that you don't know, you have to be honest with yourself. You have to have humility that you don't know and learn. I meet people all the time. I sit at their feet and learn because they know things I don't know. I have two amazing brothers, Wole and Akinka, and these guys know a lot. They know there's so many things that they know that I don't know, and I learn from them all the time. Just talking to them, just fellowshipping with them. It's a beautiful thing. That's why when I talk about sibling love, yeah, you guys need to experience it. Be open with your siblings. They love you. They will carry you when you're falling. They will carry you because they love you. Be open with them. When you're open with people, they become open with you. They have a more intimate relationship, more meaningful, purposeful relationship where you literally empower each other. You literally build each other up, lift each other up all the time. It's like a rising tide type thing. Sibling love leads to a rising tide. You all lift each other up. It's supposed to be like that. Not one ship going up and you're going up at the expense of your brother. No. As you go up, you know better. You bring your brothers that are below up with what you know. Rising tide. But anyway, I digress. I don't know how I got there. But with my amazing brothers, knowledge I've learned is power. Just knowing what you know and being convicted by it. Some of my life recently showed me conviction. See, when you're convicted by something, and you're so convicted that you do things against a person because of your conviction, someone that you love, or someone that you respect, or someone that you has mentored you, or someone that has any kind of relevance to you, but because you're convicted about something, yes, you now go against that person. the intensity with which you can go against that person tells a lot about your character. Because I think it's a fantastic thing when you can act on your conviction with vigor, with intensity, with intention. It's a fantastic thing. But I pray that conviction is with true knowledge, true information, correct information, interpreted properly. Because if it's not, and your conviction is wrong, it can be damaging if you act on it with that vigor I just mentioned, that same intensity. You now act on the wrong information or the wrong interpretation of events, it could be damaging. Wow. So, I love to talk about thriving because thriving is a big part of my life. But teaching, empowering people how to thrive, I love that even more. And all I do is tell them my pearls from my experiences. Does that mean I'm thriving at my highest level? No. Oh, I have ways to go. Ways to go. Yes? But am I thriving? Oh, absolutely. In every area? Oh, absolutely not. Some areas I'm failing miserably. But the beautiful thing says your heart is the one that knows everything because it comes from the spirit. Mine is cheating and lies all the time. Be guided by your higher self. Absolutely. Be guided by your higher self. Let that higher self guide you. Let that higher self guide you. Because the little you will want to do many things that the higher self knows you shouldn't be doing. Right? So be intentional about knowing and then acting on knowledge, acting on the right interpretation. But whatever you're convicted by, act on it. Oh, act on it. Please be intentional to imagine it. Dream it. Imagine how it tastes. Imagine how it looks. Imagine how it sounds. Imagine how it smells. Yes, imagine how it feels. Imagine these things about that thing that you really, 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 really want. Because the more clarity you have about that thing that you really want, the more likely you are to get it to manifest. I'm a very spiritual being. I just believe I'm a spirit. I embody a spirit. Yes? As a Christian. And I really believe that the more you engage your senses with things, the more you engage your spirit. But you have to engage your senses. That thing that you really, really want, engage your senses. Engage your senses. It's very important. Very important. Don't believe on what your mind shows you. It's an emotion that is acting in a past experience. Ask yourself questions, critique your thoughts, and you can have clarity to decide what you want to hook up. Okay? Okay? That's a lot. Okay? I'm going to digest that. Don't believe on what your mind shows you. I agree with that. Yeah? You see things with your spirit, not with your mind. It's an emotion that is acting on past experience. So I think there's something to do with history. You shouldn't ignore your history. Or you shouldn't let your history be in the way of your present. Present takes priority. Be present. Because then you can create a future in which you now develop a history that's actually good.